Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi ta'ala wabarakatuh. And a very pleasant morning I bid to all the teachers and students out there. How are you all this morning? Okay, I hope everybody is keeping healthy and keeping safe. Okay, my name is Miss Anzulidia binti Muhammad. I'm from PPD Pekan and SISC Plus Bahasa. Okay, so I will be your moderator for this morning session. So Alhamdulillah, we have come so far to our fourth day coming live to you from PPD Pekan via YouTube channel as well as PPD Pekan's Facebook. All right. So far, we have completed 5 subjects. And today, English language will be the 6th subject to be featured in this program. Now, as you all know, online at PPD is created with the sole purpose of supporting students out there who are facing their SPM at these very challenging times. Okay, since the pandemic came, students or rather schools are not allowed to have seminars on site. Therefore, we PPD Pekan, the sektor pembelajaran led by the SIC Plus, have come up with a program in order to give support to these students. All right. So before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and like our channel. All right. So before we start our session, let us start by making dua for today's session so that our session will have His blessings and hopefully everything will run smoothly. Okay, the dua will be recited by Tuan Haji Muhammad Sani bin Muhammad Sa'ad.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Wa qala rabbukum ud'uni astajib lakum. A'udzu billahi samiil alim minasy syaithanir rajim. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahilladzi bi ni'matihi tatimmus shalihat. Wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulinal amin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, kami menadah tangan memohon kepadamu, ampunilah dosa-dosa kami, dosa kedua ibu bapa kami, kaum keluarga kami, guru-guru kami, juga muslimin dan muslimat, mukminin dan mukminat sama ada yang masih hidup maupun yang telah meninggal dunia. Ya Allah, Ya Rahman, limpahkanlah kepada kami ilmu pengetahuan, hiasilah diri kami dengan kesopanan, muliakanlah kami dengan ketakwaan, segarkan tubuh kami dengan kesihatan, dan berkatilah diri kami dengan keredaan. Ya Allah, Ya Ghaffar, sempena pembelajaran atas talian peringkat daerah pekan tahun 2020 ini, kurniakanlah kepada anak-anak didik kami kesedaran dan keinsafan setelah mereka hanyut di buai khayalan. Semaikan ke dalam jiwa mereka benih keimanan dan kebaikan setelah mereka tenggelam dengan kenikmatan dunia. Alirkan di mata mereka air mata penyesalan lantaran mereka sering ketawa tanpa sempadan, dan tambahkan kepada mereka ilmu pengetahuan lantaran titik-titik kejahilan semakin kelihatan. Semoga mereka kembali menjadi hamba-hambamu yang beriman dan bertakwa, mengingatimu setiap masa dan ketika, ibadah ditunai dengan keikhlasan di jiwa. Kepada ibu bapa dan guru rasa hormat dan cinta. Sesama makhluk tanamkan bahagia, hidup di dunia sentiasa sentosa, dan akhirat nanti menjanjikan bahagia selama-lama. Ya Allah, Ya Jabbar, harapan ibu bapa terlalu tinggi untuk melihat anak-anaknya berjaya. Air mata dan keringat tidak terkira dalam membesarkan anak-anak tercinta. Pengorbanan guru-guru tidak terhitung dalam mendidik dan menjadikan mereka insan yang beruntung. Doa masyarakat sering dipanjat agar maruah bangsa semakin terbela dan dipertingkat. Perkenankanlah permintaan kami ini, Ya Allah. Moga kecewa berganti ceria, cita-cita menjadi nyata, susah payah bertukar mudah, dan harapan menjadi satu kenyataan. Allahumma ja'al jam'ana hadha jam'an marhuma wa tafarruqana min ba'dihi tafarruqan ma'suma wa la taj'alillahumma fina wa la man yatba'una saqiyya wa la matruda wa la mahruma. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin, ya Rabbal Alameen. So, inshallah, we hope that our program will run smoothly. And like I said, we will have His blessings and students will learn a lot from this session. Okay, all right. So, before we start proper, a few reminders to all you students out there of our webinar etiquette. When we are online, there are certain rules that we have to abide by. So, as you all know, students can post questions in the chat section, in the YouTube as well as the FB. So, when you are posting questions, keep them short and simple. And more appropriately, we hope that students can use the appropriate language in order to chat with one another, right? Now, for you teachers out there who are interested in getting the materials for this online at PPD 2020, the materials can be accessed on this link, but the link, or rather the materials, the link will not be activated just yet until all the sessions finishes, meaning to say that it will be activated on the 17th of December. All right, let's get the ball rolling with our English language session for today. So, let's get to know our presenter for today. Today's presenter is Madam Nur Zahran binti Muhammad Naim. She is currently teaching at SMK Pramujaya, Pekan. Um, her first degree is in accounting. She obtained it from Unitan Kajang, but her passion for teaching led her to getting a KPLI in order for her to teach English language from IPA. And her favorite digital tools is Google Meet. Okay, right. So what do we have in store today from Madam Zahran? So today's agenda would be the first 5 minutes will be introduction to 1119, and then she will continue with the answering techniques for novel response, directed writing, and continuous writing. And the last 5 minutes will be allocated for Q&A. Nevertheless, even though I said that the last 5 minutes will be allocated for Q&A, of course, along the way, throughout the sessions, you students out there can post any questions you like. All right. So I will not delay the session any longer. I will hand over the session to Madam Zahran. Over to you, Madam Zahran.
Okay, thank you, Miss Anne. Right, Assalamualaikum and good morning, everyone. I'm Puan Nur Zahran binti Muhammad Naim from SMK Pramujaya. Okay, all right. My today's session will consist of 3 parts. The first part will be on novel response. The second part will be on directed writing. And inshallah, the last part will be on continuous writing. Okay? All right. So let's start with the first part of today's session, which is a novel response. A novel response question can be found in section D, question 33 in paper 2. Okay, so let's look at this table. All right. There are 3 novels, okay, throughout Malaysia, which are Captain Nobody, Dear Mr. Kilmer, and Sing to the Dawn, right? You only learn 1 novel in school, and in SPM examination, only 1 question will be asked based on these 3 novels, okay? And you are advised to answer the question based on the novel that you have learned in school. Okay? Don't answer the question based on the novel for other states. There are some students, okay, who answered the question based on the novel that they have not learned in school. All right? I don't think it's a good things to do because you are not going to get good marks for that. And talking about marks, this question carries 15 marks, where 10 marks is for content and 5 marks is for language. Okay? And the time suggested for you to answer this novel question is 30 minutes. Right? So this is the analysis of SPM novel question for the past 4 years, from 2016 till 2019. Okay, so in 2016, students were asked to describe a scene that makes them either happy or sad. So the focus here was scene, okay, describing a scene. And in 2017, students were asked to write a value that is important to a character. And the focus here was value, okay, a value. And in 2018, students were asked to describe one problem faced by a character. And the focus is on problem or an issue. Okay, and last year 2019, students were asked to write about a character that they dislike, and the focus was on character. So what will be the question for SPM 2020 candidates? All right. I'm sure there are some students out there who tend to predict the question. All right. Um, don't worry so much about what question that will be asked for you, because for me, the most important question to be asked is, have you memorized all the important events? Yes or no? Okay. All right. So for today's session, I'll be focusing on tips for Captain Nobody, written by Dean Pishford. Okay. I know there are schools that are not doing Captain Nobody. So perhaps you'll be asking, do today's tips be useful for them? So my answer is yes, inshallah. The tips shared for today can be used for all the 3 novels. Okay, they are applicable. Okay, because the most important thing is you focus on the techniques. Okay, you focus on the techniques that I'm going to share today, and inshallah, the techniques can be used for all the 3 novels. Okay, before you can start answering any novel question, you need to read the novel first, of course. And I believe by now you have completed reading the novels. And once you have understood the story, then only you can memorize the important events. Okay, so what are the important events in Captain Nobody? So here you can see, okay, all the important events that I believe you should know. Okay, preparing breakfast, playing the big game, creating costume, getting the drum, helping Mr. Clay, foiling a robbery, rescuing the ferret, saving Reggie, and shouting, hit the shower. Okay, all right. Okay. Um, how memorizing the events, okay, helps candidate to answer any novel question. Okay, so now uh, let's look at this table. Okay, I would like you to focus on character and characteristic, theme, and moral value. So, what are the connections between these three boxes, okay, and the events that you have memorized? Okay, what are the connections? Okay, when you try to memorize an event, for example, here, let's take the event where Captain Nobody rescued the ferret. Okay, so when you memorize this event, you will be able to identify all the characters involved as well as their characteristics. So in that particular event, Captain Nobody has shown that he is a brave boy. So the character is Captain Nobody, and I said that the characteristic is brave. So how do I know? All right, how do I know? Because from the event, Captain Nobody bravely zigzagged through the incoming traffic in order to rescue the ferret. And this is not easy for a small 10-year-old boy to to take that kind of action, right? So based on this event, I can say that Captain Nobody or Newton Newman is a brave person. And how by doing this will help you to identify the theme as well as moral value of the novel. Okay, how? Okay, so if I ask you a question, what is the theme based on this event? Your answer is the theme is bravery. Okay, and if I ask you what is the moral value, the moral value is we should be brave to face challenges in life. Or you can as well you can also answer we should be brave to do something that we believe is right. Okay, there's a error there. Okay, we should be brave to do something that we believe is right. So in that event, Captain Nobody believed he had to save the ferret. Okay, and he believed that is the right thing for him to do. So he braved himself. Okay, to rescue the ferret. Right. So uh, we can see that. Okay, uh, characters, and characteristics, themes, and moral values are depending on each other. And for your information, uh, this is what I always do with my students in order to help them memorize and at the same time they are able to analyze the event. Okay, and besides identifying the character and characteristics, theme, moral values, uh, you can also be prepared with a question like, do you like this event? Okay, do you like this event? Or do you dislike this event? And of course, you need to give reasons. So if you want to think of all the answers during the exam, sometimes it will take um, some time for you to think of it. So it's better for you to be prepared from now onwards. All right. Okay. So some examples here. This is just my suggestion. Okay. You can come up with your own opinion. So I like the event because I like the event where Captain Nobody rescued the ferret because it shows how Captain Nobody bravely zigzagged through the incoming traffic in order to rescue the ferret, and he ended up stopping 4 lanes of traffic. His brave action has coincidentally enabled a plane with engine failures to make a safe landing. Okay, That is my reasons, my opinion, if I like the event. How about if I dislike the event? Okay, I dislike the event because it shows how Captain Nobody endangered himself when he zigzagged through the incoming traffic in order to rescue the ferret. Full stop. His foolish action might cause injuries for him as well as to other people around him. Okay, so as you can see, I still use the same character. Okay, I still use the same character for my response. Right? So these are which I believe, okay, these are the important elements that need to be learned in all novels. Okay, and inshallah by doing this, you may be able to answer whatever question that will come out in your SPM examination. Okay, but the most important thing, of course, you have to memorize the events first. All right. Okay. So now let's look at this question. Okay. All right. So this is how your SPM question will look like. Okay. Novel question 33, section D, paper 2, will always start with the list of all the 3 novels and its author. Okay. Dear Mr. Kilmer by Anne Shroff, Captain Nobody by Dean Pitchford, Sing to the Dawn by Ming Fong Ho. Okay, then below there is a sentence telling you to choose one novel that you have learned in school. Okay, remember that, yeah? So the sentence is choose any one of the novels above and answer the question below. So where is the question for the students to answer? As you can see, the parts where I highlighted in blue. Okay, the parts where I highlighted in blue, yeah? So here is the question that need to be answered. Okay, being brave is necessary in our life. Based on the novel that you have studied, explain how this quality is shown by a character. Give reasons why it is so with close reference to the text. Okay, so once you have finished reading the question, always remind yourself that there are always two tasks there. Okay, two tasks there. Maksudnya soalan ini selalunya akan terdiri daripada 2 bahagian. So the first task is that is the first task. Okay, being brave is necessary in our life. Based on the novel that you have studied, explain how this quality is shown by a character. Meaning to say, students must make sure that the chosen character, they have to choose a character that show the quality of being brave is necessary in his or her life. And students must make sure that the chosen character has really proven that being brave is necessary in his or her life. Okay, make sure you choose the correct character. Okay, and task 2, okay, give reasons why it is so. Okay, with close reference to the text. You need to give reasons. Okay, why the quality of being brave is necessary, is important, okay, for the character that you are going to choose. Why is it important to identify both tasks, task 1 and task 2? Why? This is because if you answer only one part of the question, okay, one part of the questions, all right, the maximum marks, okay, the maximum marks that you are going to get for content is only 6. Okay, remember the full mark for content is 10. Okay, If you are able, if you answered only one part of the question, the maximum marks that you can get is only 6. Okay, so be careful, my dear students. Please read the question carefully. Okay, read and identify. Okay, next.
Yeah, this is okay. This is something that our students tend to neglect. I mean, highlighting the important parts of the
Yes,
question.
yes. Okay, don't worry because you okay, make sure you have your highlighters with you, okay, during the exam, okay, and highlight because these papers, the question papers, is yours, okay, and you may also scribble any important points there, okay. All right, so next, okay, after you have identified the task, okay, next, how to answer the question. Okay, how to answer the question. So for me, after you have identified the task, you need to write a draft. Okay, you need to write a draft for your answer. Okay, remember, before answering the question, writing a draft can can help you to keep on track. Okay, can help you to keep on track. How? Okay, how? Okay, I will show you. Okay, firstly, when you read the question, what is the focus of the question? Okay, what is the focus of the question? The focus is being brave is necessary in our life. Okay, being brave is necessary in our life. So in this question, the question wants you to identify character that has shown this quality. Okay, so this being brave, who has shown? Captain, nobody. So you have to give the name, mention the name. You can also write shown by Newton Newman or known as Captain Nobody. It's up to you. Okay, all right. And next, okay, once you have identified the character who has shown the quality, of course, the next question is, how do you know? How do you know that Captain Nobody has shown this quality? Of course, based on the textual evidence. Okay, based on the textual evidence. And when I use the word textual evidence, I am actually referring to the events. Okay, I am referring to the events in the novel. Okay, all right. So my first textual evidence will be the event of rescuing the ferret. Okay, right? So remember just now, first task. So I have completed my first task. Okay, so my second task, give reasons. So here I'm going to give the reason. Okay, uh, after I have developed my textual evidence on rescuing the ferret, I will give the reasons. Okay, why being brave is necessary in Captain Nobody's life. Yeah, all right. Next, do we need uh, another textual evidence to support our answer? Before you can answer that question, okay, ask yourself, eh, are there any words in the question? Okay, are there any words in the question saying that you can only give one scene, one event, or one incident, or one part of the story, or give one textual evidence? Is it mentioned in the question? Can you see? No. Okay, no. Okay, so because of that, all right, you can add another event as the second textual evidence. Remember, yeah, before you decide whether you can add a second textual evidence, meaning before you can add a second event, always ask yourself that question. Okay, so my second textual evidence will be the event of saving Reggie Ratner. Okay, right. And of course, that is I have completed my first task, and it will be followed by the second part of the question, which is the reasons why being brave is necessary in Captain Nobody's life. So this is the draft. Okay, this is the draft. You may scribble this on your question paper. Okay, so by doing, by having this draft, as I said earlier, you can, it can help you to keep on track. So from the draft, you know that okay, I have completed my first task. I have completed my second task. So you can move on to the next part. Okay, so let's look at this answer template. Okay, I will show you how to write the introduction, the contents, and the conclusion. Okay. This answer template is just my suggestion. Okay, I love to use this template with my students because I want their answer to be organized. Okay, I want the answer to be organized. When you organize your point well, it will be easy for the teacher to mark your paper. Okay, um, your points can your points can easily be seen. Okay, can be easily identified by your teacher. Okay, all right. So let's look at the first row. Okay, the first row, paragraph 1. Okay, introduction. So in the introduction, okay, paragraph 1, there are two things, okay, there are two things that need to be included. Okay, there are two things. Number one, you need to give the name of the novel and the author, okay, that you have learned in school, right? So there are few ways on how to start, or how to begin your introduction, uh, but I prefer this way. Okay, the novel that I have studied is Captain Nobody by Dean Pitchford. Full stop. Okay, you can start memorizing this from now onwards. Okay, inshallah, no errors during your exam. All right, and the second part is depending on the question. The second part is depending on the question. Okay, so here, please look at, please focus on the words that I have highlighted in blue, in the rubric, yeah, in the question. Okay, so that will be that will be the second thing, okay, that I need to include in my introduction. Okay, uh, sometimes, okay, there are students asking me, uh, uh, can they give a short synopsis in their introduction? Can they include, okay, can they include a short synopsis about the novel that they have learned? When I asked them why, they said when they start writing the synopsis, it will help them to recall the event that they have memorized. So my answer is, well, if you think by writing the synopsis, short synopsis, okay, in the introduction part, will help you to write better, will help you to discuss your arguments better. Yes, you may do so, but make sure when you say a short synopsis, maximum uh, maximum 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, right? Okay. And again, this is optional. Okay. If you, but for me, I love to keep it simple. All right. So the second part, the contents. Okay, the contents. Contents normally contents consists of a minimum of 2 paragraphs, right? And I will elaborate more on the contents in the next slide. Okay, finally, the conclusion. Here, you will summarize your ideas, or you may share your own opinion, and state your hope. Okay, state your hope. For example, you hope to be like the character that you have chosen, and okay, and please make sure uh, whatever whatever opinion or hope that you want to share, make sure it's related to the question. Right? I hope it's clear, yeah? Okay, next. Okay, all right. How to write the content? Okay, how to write the content? Remember our draft. Our first textual evidence is the event of rescuing the ferret. Okay. When I want to present my content, normally I love to use store. Okay, I love to use store. What is store? Okay, as you can see here, first row, yeah. S. S is statement. Ayat penyata. Okay, to begin your second paragraph. Okay, where you are going to give a sentence to me, to your teacher, to tell your teacher what your paragraph is all about. Okay, so that is S, statement. So in this example, as this is the first content, I use firstly. Okay, I use firstly. Ah, okay, state the name of the character. Give the name of the character. Okay, firstly, Captain Nobody has shown that the quality of being brave is necessary in our life. Okay, all right. That is S. Okay, T, second row. Second row, yeah? T. T is for textual evidence. The event, okay? The event that you have memorized, okay? Right, you're supposed to do that, yeah? All right. You may use phrases like, this can be seen when Captain Nobody bravely rescued the ferret. Okay, this is how we want to introduce the textual evidence. Or you can also begin with, we can see this. We can see this when Captain Nobody bravely rescued the ferret. Right? How did it start? Okay, how did it start? So you may continue with, it started when, or it began when. Right? Make sure this is the part, okay, where you have to make sure you write a well-developed textual evidence. Okay, not a memorized script, okay, not a memorized script, but a well-developed textual evidence. Okay, how do I know that I have written a well-developed textual evidence? Okay, once you have written your your textual evidence, try to ask yourself some questions, such as, how did the event start? Sorry, how did the event start? Do you have the answer? Yes. Okay. Where did Captain Nobody get the ferret from? Okay. Is it his pet? Ah, tell the reader. I mean, tell your teacher. What was the ferret doing in the middle of a heavy traffic? So can you find the answer for that? Why must Captain Nobody rescue the ferret? Can't other people rescue the ferret? Uh, and you can also ask question like, how did he rescue the ferret? So if you can answer all these questions, I can say that your textual evidence is well developed. And make sure all the questions that I just shared just now lead you to your focus. Lead you to your focus. What is your focus? Your focus is the quality of being brave is necessary in the life of Captain Nobody. Okay, answer what does the question want. Right? Yeah? Right. Next. Okay, the third row is O. Okay, O. O is for opinion. Okay, this part it depends on the question. So in our question for today, you are asked to give your opinion on the reasons. Sebab-sebab. Okay, sebab-sebab. Why being brave is necessary in Captain Nobody's life. So here are some suggestions on how to develop your reasons. Okay, you may start with, in my opinion, the quality of being brave is necessary in Captain Nobody's life because, give your first reason. Okay, give your first reason. And then you develop. Okay, kena kembangkan alasan itu, kembangkan sebab itu. Without that quality, it is impossible for him to do what? Okay, and if he did not have that, or if he did not have that quality, he may not do what? Right? So these are some tips where I believe if it can help you to develop your reason. Okay, it's not just the textual evidence need to be developed, the reasons need to be developed as well. Okay, all right. And next, the last row is RE. Okay, what is RE? RE is relate to the question. Okay, relate to the question. Kira nak penutup lah, okay, the end of this particular paragraph. So I use, therefore, it is true that the quality of being brave is essential in Captain Nobody's life. Okay, all right. Okay, so
Okay, Ms. Zahran.
yes,
All right, we have two questions here.
okay.
All right. Question number one is from Madam Rosita. She's asking
Mm-hmm.
whether is there any limited length for the novel part? I mean, is there a certain number of words that the students have to follow?
Certain number of paragraph, is it?
Yeah, meaning
A
to
certain
say,
number of paragraph, is it?
not paragraph, but is there a certain any limited length for the novel part?
Okay, let me put it this way. There is no limited length for the novel part. Okay, compared to let's say continuous writing, you need to write more than 350 words. Okay, for novel part, there is no limited length there is no limited length mentioned in the question. Okay, but let's say your students wants to write a one paragraph answer. Is it convincing enough? Okay, is it convincing enough? Do you think by writing a one page of answer with only one textual evidence, will it be sufficient? Okay, yes, students may write a one page answer, but they are not going to get good marks for that. Okay?
Okay, our second question for the day comes from Roshamimi Hanim.
Okay.
Uh, she's asking whether, how about the mark when I use Newton Newman along the paragraph?
Oh, the mark, meaning
Hmm.
the students is worried because this event is referring to Captain Nobody, and you tend to use Newton Newman along the paragraph.
Hmm.
Am I right? Okay.
Yes, I think so, yes.
Okay. You don't worry. Okay, because Newton Newman is Captain Nobody. Okay, and Captain Nobody is not referring to any other character. All right, the teacher knows. Okay, so if your answer is correct, if your textual evidence given are sufficient enough, convincing enough, the opinion given also uh, convincing, so you will get the marks that you deserve. All right. Okay.
I
Okay.
think Lailato Aida is asking the same question. Can I use Newton Newman in the statement one? I think that answers the question as well.
Ah. All right. Okay. Okay, it's just that yes, you may use Newton Newman, but of course, okay, my first actual evidence is rescuing the ferret. Okay, rescuing the ferret, and in that event, the person who's rescuing the ferret is Captain Nobody. So I believe you know. So you can also write Newton Newman. You can also write yes, you can write Newton Newman, but it will be better for you to write Captain Nobody to show your understanding about
Yes.
the novel, to show that you understand the novel well. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. All right. Okay. So this is our second textual evidence. All right. And again, please remember to ask you. Please remember to ask yourself. Okay, a question that I have asked you earlier. What was the question? Yeah. Are there any words in the question saying that you can only give one scene, one event, one incident, or one part of the story? This is a very important question. Okay. And we know there are no words, okay, in the question. So you can add another event as the second textual evidence. So my second textual evidence here will be the event of saving Reggie Ratner. Okay, and I still use store when I want to present my contents. Right, and I'm going to repeat the same thing as what I did in the previous slide. And as you can see, okay, I want you to focus at the opinion part. If you realize, okay, I use the same phrases. I use the same phrases just like my first textual evidence. Okay, I use the same phrases just like my first textual evidence. The difference is only on the event, the content. Okay. Perhaps you may ask, can I use different phrases? Yes. Okay. Yes, of course, because this is depending on your English proficiency level. Okay. If you think it's hard for you to memorize so many things, and so you may use the same phrases. If you are good, you want to vary your vocabs, you want to vary your sentences, then it's up to you. Okay, as long as uh, it convey the same meaning, as long as you can give good reasoning for that. All right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Next. Um. Okay.
All
I
right.
want to. Yes.
Can I interrupt you, Madam
Yes.
Zahran? All
Yes.
right, we have two questions again here. One from Madam Rosita. She's
Mm-hmm.
asking whether how many evidences qualify you to get the maximum marks for content.
Okay. Um, as you can see here, my suggestion, uh, I gave uh, two, two textual evidence. Okay. Um, you have to make sure when you give two textual evidence, both textual evidence need to be equally well developed. Let's say if you want to give three textual evidence, okay, you want to give three textual evidence. Yes, you may do so, but make sure all the three textual evidence, okay, are equally well developed. Okay, remember you only have 30 minutes. Okay, time suggested is 30 minutes. Let's say you when you do your apa, when you do your draft, okay, you decided to have three textual evidence. Okay, so you have completed your textual evidence one, textual evidence two, and when you trying to complete your textual evidence three, you don't have enough time. So what will happen? You are going to have two well developed textual evidence plus one how can I say incomplete or not enough detail. So let's say the students deserve to be given 9 for content, then it will drag the marks to 8, for example. Okay, because if you want to give three, all the three need to be equally well developed. So that is my answer.
Okay, so if we give three content points, so meaning all the content points should be well developed.
Yes, yes.
Okay, all right. Over to the next question. We have a question from
I don't know from paragraph 4. Mm,
Do you
Miss
want me
Anne?
to repeat the question?
Oh, meaning the student is asking me how to write sentence for relate.
Yes, I think that's what it means. Yes.
Okay, all right. Okay. RE relate to the question. This is also optional actually. Okay, this is optional. All right. Okay, but I love my students. Okay, to have RE. It's like to give um to repeat, okay? To repeat that, hello teacher, this is my first textual evidence. This is my opinion. So therefore, I have proven ataupun or therefore it is true that the quality of being brave is essential in Captain Nobody's life. I'm actually, if you realize, I'm actually repeating my statement. Okay? I repeat my statement. So if you can refer to the slide, focus on the words that I have highlighted in yellow. Okay, right? So I just repeat. Okay, I just repeat whatever that I have written in my first row in the statement. Okay,
Okay, all right.
right? Okay.
Mm. Okay, we have two more questions. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Hang on. Okay. It comes from Nora Liz. She
Mm-hmm.
is asking, teacher, opinion tu kena based on soalan sahaja atau boleh kaitkan dalam hidup kita?
Okay. All right. Good question there. Okay. Okay. Uh, Opinion. Okay. When you want to give opinion, it depends on the question. Okay. All right. So if we look at our question, the question said give reasons why it is so. Okay, so based on this reason, based on this question, you need to give reasons why the quality is why the quality of being brave is important to the life of Captain Nobody. Okay, because the question said so. So in this question, when you want to give reason, okay, when you want to give reason, so the reason must be related to the question compared to ah okay compared to this question, the question that I would like to discuss after this. Okay, the next question you will see that the
Hmm.
opinion part is where you have to give opinion that relates to you. Okay, that relates to you. So I will elaborate on that in the next question. Okay.
Okay. All right. Looks like the questions are coming fast and furious here. All right. Our next question comes from Sharif. Okay. All right. Let me read you the question. Teacher, what if we write a long paragraph with no evidence of the point? Can we still get good marks?
Meaning to say, your answer does not have textual evidence. Am I right?
Correct. Yes, correct.
So the opinion given is based on what? All right. Okay. So as you can see from this table, this my answer template. Okay. When your teacher wants to mark your work, okay, let's say you have statement, you have opinion, but you don't have the textual evidence. So your opinion will be based on nothing. So do you think you're going to get good marks for that? I don't think so. Okay,
Okay. All right.
that's why earlier sorry.
So textual evidence is very, very important.
Yes, it's very important. That's the reason why earlier I stressed on the importance of memorizing your important events.
Okay, next question we have from Elia Nauman. She's asking, teacher, for you, is it better to use present tense or past tense in writing?
Okay, for my students, all right, for my students, to avoid for any confusion, okay, to avoid for any confusion on tenses, okay, I prefer them to use past tense. Okay, I prefer for them to use past tense. But if your English proficiency level is good and you are comfortable with, you are comfortable using present tense, then of course you may do so. But make sure uh, 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 don't mix the tenses. For example, textual evidence one, you use past tense, and then when you start writing your second textual evidence, you use present tense. So what will happen? We will take the first we will take the first tense that you use. So the first tense that you use is past tense. So the second tense that you use is error, will be error. Okay, will be identified as error because there is no consistency there. All right?
Okay. Okay, so students out there, please be mindful of what tenses you are using. So our next question, okay, come from Harith Hakimi. Teacher, if there are any grammar mistakes but all the content is correct, what is the maximum mark I will get?
Um, I think, sorry. The maximum marks you're asking here is referring to the maximum marks for language. Am I right?
I
Or the
think so, yes.
maximum marks for language, yeah? Okay. All right. Well, it depends. Okay, it depends on um, how many grammatical errors. Okay, um, that we can identify from your answer. Okay, but my focus here for today, my tips shared, okay, all the tips for today is to focus on content. Okay, is to focus on content. The grammatical part, um, as long as as long as your sentences, okay, as long as your sentences can be understood, okay, and you are not using other language than English, okay, minimum marks for language is 2. Okay, as long as your sentences can be understood, right? Minimum marks is 2. Okay, all right.
Okay. So, in other words, concentrate on the contents, but minimize the number of grammatical errors that you make.
Yes.
Okay, all right. I think we will let you proceed. Okay, we have two more questions here. Uh, I think this one quite a simple question here from Anak Solos here. Teacher, what will happen to the mark if the name of the character is misspelled? I think that's quite straightforward.
Um, Content we accept as long as as long as the character the name of the character that you misspell does not refer to any other different character. Okay. But of course, you're not going to get full marks for language. Okay, for all the spelling errors.
Okay. There are a few more questions here, but if we hang on to this novel response, I don't think you will be able to proceed for your next section. Okay, so shall we proceed to DW now,
All right.
or you still have some more
Oh,
slides?
oh yeah, I have one more question actually. I want to
All right.
show on the scene question.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay. All right. Okay, this is SPM 2016 novel question. Okay, why I decided to share this question with you because in this question I'll be using different way. Okay, I'll be using a different approach to answer this question. Right? And again, whatever question that will come out, there will always be two tasks. Okay, so here task 1 and here is the second task. Okay, so the first task is to describe a scene that makes you either happy or not. Okay, a question was asked just now regarding the opinion. Okay, so the second task is to give reasons why it is so. So still the same phrases like the first question, but this time around, the reasons is referring to you, my dear student. Okay, all right. So next, ask yourself, still the same question. Are there any words in the question saying that you can only give one scene? one event, or one incident, or one part of the story? Okay, the answer is yes. It's very clear there. Describe a scene. All right, describe a scene. So how you are going to tackle this question and how you are going to organize your answer. So you have identified two tasks. You have asked yourself the question, and next you need to write your draft. Okay. Firstly, what is the focus of the question? Describing a scene. So next, what kind of scene? A scene that makes you either happy or sad. So you have to choose. Okay, you have to choose whether you want to write about event that makes you happy or event that makes you sad. All right. So what will be in your second paragraph? Ah, okay. So in your second paragraph, you will be describing a well-developed scene. Okay, and make sure when you describe the scene that you have chosen, you need to highlight all parts in this event that makes you happy. Okay, focus on the events that makes you happy if you choose to write about as a scene that makes you happy. Okay, and what will be in paragraph 3? Paragraph 3 will show the second part. Okay, the second task of the question where you must give you must give reasons why the scene makes you happy or sad. I hope by now you can see the differences, okay, between the first question and the second question. Okay, so this suggestion, okay, my suggestion of a template for SPM 2016 novel question. Again, paragraph 1, introduction, the same thing, two things need to be included, and then paragraph 2, describe the scene, okay, and then paragraph 3, the reasons, paragraph 4, the conclusion. Okay, all right. I'm not going to show you what you are supposed to write in your second paragraph because in paragraph 2, you are supposed to describe the scene that makes you happy. Okay? But I would like to share with you how you are going to give your reasons. Okay? Try to give 3 to 4 reasons. Okay? Try to give 3 to 4 reasons, and each reason need to be developed. Okay, you cannot just simply say I am happy because I like the character. Full stop. That is not a developed reason. Okay, so let's look at this template. I use the event where Captain Nobody helped his best friend Cecil to get the beautiful drum from the top of a tall dumpster. So again, I still use as statement to tell teacher, to tell the reader that I have many reasons why the scene makes me feel happy. So there are many reasons why the scene makes me feel happy. Firstly, I'm happy because of the value of friendship shown in the scene. I believe there are many positive effects of a good friendship. One of them is it can improve one's self-confidence. So up until one's self-confidence, this is my personal response. Then I relate it to the textual evidence where I highlight the part where Cecil's words has influenced Newt or Captain Nobody to be more confident and uh, braver, okay, to overcome his fear of heights. Okay, all right. And then second reason, you may as well include you may as well ask yourself how would it affect the life of people around him as well. Okay, and my second reason, next, I'm happy because of the value of bravery shown in the scene. Okay, and you develop your reason, then you give your own reason. Okay, and I still use re, relate, Therefore, it is true that the scene where Captain Nobody helped Cecil has made me happy. To tie up everything that I have given in paragraph 3. Okay, so that concludes my first part of today's session. Okay.
Okay, Madam Zahran, we have one good question here. I think I should share it with you. Okay, it's from Akila Ayuni. She's asking, teacher, we must use different opinions and relate every events, right?
Yes. Uh, is it because I use the same phrases in my second reason, just like my first reason? Are
Yeah,
you asking?
most probably.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Uh,
As you can see here, okay, I'm sorry. Okay, as you can see here, yes, I use the same sentence structure. Okay, I use the same sentence structure for my first reason, second reason, as well as my third reason. Why? Because my focus here is to help uh, a group of students. Okay, my focus here is to help a group of students who have who have who might have difficulty if they keep on changing their sentence structure. They tend to get confused. Okay, but if you are good, okay, again, if you are good and you can vary your sentences, use different approach for your second reason, third reason, of course, you may do so.
okay, so the students can use different opinions to answer and to relate to different events.
Yes, it depends on their English level, English proficiency level. Okay,
Okay.
all right. Okay,
All right.
so I think we proceed to our second part of today's session, which is directed writing. Okay, all right. Paper one, yeah. Just now we did paper two. Paper two. Okay. Directed writing question. Okay, I have to change my hat now. Okay, directed writing question can be found in section A, paper 1. Okay, in section A, paper 1. Here, you will be asked to write on formatted essay. Okay, a total of 35 marks are allocated for this question. 3 for format, 12 for content, and 20 for language. Sometimes in certain formatted essays, there are only 2 marks for format and 13 marks for content. No matter what, the most important thing is format plus contents is 15. Okay? And marks for language will always be 20. And in this section, only one question is given, and students do not have the choice like what they are given in the continuous writing section. And for this part, you are suggested to use 45 minutes only. Okay? All right. So this is the analysis of directed writing questions for the past 10 years from 2010 till 2019. So as we can see here, there are 5 types of essays that you need to know. Okay, I believe you have learned all these 5 types of essay in school. What are they? They are informal letter, formal letter, talk or speech, report, and article. However, for today, I will focus only on informal letter. Okay, if you have your um, if you have your handouts with you, okay, you may refer to page 6 of the handout. Okay, before you can start writing a letter, again, here are some useful phrases or sentences that I would like to share with you. These are my suggestion. Okay, you may have your own. Okay, you may have sentences or phrases that you are comfortable with. All right. So, what are the common useful phrases that you could use in an informal letter? So, if you refer to this table, look at the first row. First row, yeah, we have the opening paragraph. So, in the opening paragraph or opening remarks of your informal letter, there are two things need to be included. What are they? Okay, number one, always ask about the person's health, right? So if you, let's say if you are writing the letter, okay, you may begin with, how are you? I hope you and your family are fine. Or, how are you? I hope you and your family are in the best of health. Or you may also begin with, how are things? I hope everything's okay. Right? And if you are replying the letter, okay, you may begin with, thanks for your letter. It was great to hear from you again. And then you may continue. I am fine here. I'm fine here and glad to know that you are fine too. And you may also add, sorry for the late reply as I was, you may give reason for that. Or you, if you want to share, let's say if your friends told you about bad news, so you may respond, you may reply by saying, I am so sorry to hear that bad news. Okay? All right. That is the first thing that need to be included. And then the second thing is state the purpose of writing. State the purpose of writing. And this is depending on the question. Okay? You may write, the reason I'm writing this letter is to tell you about what? You will refer to the question. Okay, or if you want to keep it simple, I'm writing to invite you to. I'm writing to tell you about. You may do so. Okay, and for the closing paragraph, you may end it with 4 things. Okay, 4 things. Number 1, tell the reader that you are going to end the letter. Okay, how? I must go now. Or, well, that's all for now. Okay, and then number 2, state your hope. Okay, when you want to state your hope, it depends on the question as well. Okay, let's say the question asks you to give advice. Okay, the question asks you to give advice. So of course you want the reader to consider your advice or to follow your advice. So you may write, I hope you will consider my advice. Full stop. I hope you will follow my advice. Or you can also write, I hope to hear from you soon. And then number 3, send greetings. Okay. Say hello to your parents. Send my regards to your parents. Give my love to your sister, and so on. Okay. And number 4, don't forget to write bye. Okay. And again, All these are just my suggestion. Uh, I I love. I mean, I would like my students, okay, to have these four things in their opening and closing paragraph. Okay, why? Because I want them to have the. Let's say if they can start writing the opening paragraph with this kind of sentences, it will give them more confidence, okay, to write better in the second paragraph. Okay, so now let's look at this question. Okay, your new classmate is feeling particularly sad lately, so you are planning a surprise party to cheer him or her up. Write a letter to another classmate to invite and ask him or her to help you out with the party. Use the details below to write your letter. Okay, so the first heading, reasons for having the party. To cheer him or her up, and you need to give another reason. Second reason, you need to give your own idea. Okay, second heading, details of the party. Okay, there are three details of the party: date, time, venue. The third heading, suggested arrangement. Okay, color theme, food and beverages, entertainment, fun, games. And the fourth heading, surprise element, gift. And the last heading, reminder for the guests. There are two reminders, wear mask, and another one, you need to give your own idea. Okay, all right. Uh, Once you have finished reading just now, you are supposed to be able to check all the facts given in the question. You may scribble on your question paper. Okay, while reading, you may write. Okay, F. Okay, F. What is F? F is format of the essay. A, audience, the reader, the one who's going to read your letter, and then C, content, T, tense, S, scenario or the situation. Okay. To
Madam Zahran?
yes,
Okay, a questions asked by the teacher here. Okay, all these materials are in the module provided, am I right?
yes,
So they can refer to the module as well now.
yeah. Okay.
Because Madam Rosita asked, school is provided with the module for this slot. So when are they going to be in action? Well, I think that answers the question. The module is being used at the moment. Am I right, Madam Zahran?
Yes, yes. But if I want to wait for the students to respond for all the question, I'm afraid that we might not have enough time.
Correct, correct.
Okay.
Okay, we have one question here. Well, several questions actually. Okay, ni soalan cepu mas lah kiranya ni. From Ayub Khan. He's asking, to pass, at least how many marks must we get?
To pass your English paper.
That's
Strip
right, to
one.
pass the English paper.
Okay. So let me put it this way. In school, if you scored 39, pass or fail. Okay. So in school, if you pass, you need to get 40. All right. Okay.
Okay. Next question. Okay, next question comes from Nora Liz. Okay, she's asking, teacher, boleh ke letak Assalamualaikum dalam surat ni? Okay, ke tak digalakkan sebab bukan semua penanda agama bukan beragama Islam.
a good question there. Um, well, I think because this is an English paper, okay? This is an English paper, so it's better for you to start with like what I've shown just now, okay? And
Can,
oh
can
yeah,
I can I
you
add
want
to
to add?
that?
Yes, yes, yes,
Yes.
please. Yes, please.
Okay, all right. You can write Assalamualaikum at the beginning, but it must be followed by good morning. The reason being is that Assalamualaikum is in Arabic. So you need to greet the audience in English. So good morning should be the phrase.
Oh, okay, all right. Uh, is there any question? Any more question?
Okay, let me see. Okay, here's one from, I can't pronounce his name. His name is okay, Kashri, I think. Okay, teacher, can we use idioms such as I am as fit as a fiddle?
Of course, no problem. Yes, you may. You can use the idioms. Okay, as long as you use the idioms appropriately.
Okay, I think that answers the question.
Okay, all right. So facts. Okay, FACTS. All right. To help you to have a clearer picture of FACTS, let's look at this table. So as you can see, I've already highlighted the information given with three different colors. So you may do so, yeah, with your own question paper. Okay, why? All right. Let's look at the words that I've highlighted in yellow. Okay, your new classmate is feeling particularly sad lately, so you are planning a surprise party to cheer him or her up. So this is the scenario of your essay. Okay, the situation, right? Um, write a letter. Write a letter. So that is the format. Okay, I highlighted it in blue. So from the sentence, I know that the format of the essay is an informal letter. And next, to another classmate. So the audience is the classmate, okay, that you are writing to. I have highlighted it in pink. All right. How do I know that this is an informal letter? It's not mentioned in the question, in the rubric. Okay, it's not mentioned. But how do I know? Because you are asked to write a letter to a classmate. When you are writing to um, when you are writing to somebody that you know, okay, such as friends, family members, and relatives, you are actually writing an informal letter. Okay, all right. And the last part of this rubric, okay, has been highlighted in green, and that is that is the purpose of the writing. Okay, your purpose of writing to invite and ask him or her to help you out with the party. Remember, yeah? Earlier, I mentioned that you need to include the purpose of writing in your opening paragraph, opening remarks. So that's why when you read the question, when you read the rubric, it is a must to identify the purpose of writing as well. So what's still missing? Okay, we have two. Okay, two things are still missing: contents and the tense. Okay, content. You can identify the content from the middle part of the question, and we will discuss further in the next slide. And then the tense. Ah, present and future. How do I know? Okay, if you refer to the highlighted parts in yellow, you are planning for a surprise party. Okay, a party that has not happened yet. And because of that, the tenses that will be used are present, as you are discussing it now, and future tense. Okay? Make sure always read the question, always read the rubric carefully, and highlight what you are required to do. Okay? Right. Okay. Next is the format of an informal letter. So if you have your handouts with you, uh, you may refer to the bottom part of your question. Okay. And from here, you will know that the F1 format satu. Okay. The F1 is address. F2 format 2 is salutation. So in this question, uh, you are asked to write to a classmate. So you need to write the name of your classmate. Don't write dear classmate. Okay, you're not going to get marks for that. You need to write the name clearly. All right. And F3 is signature, your classmate, and then you sign your name. Okay. Next. Okay. So remember the useful phrases and sentences that I've shared earlier? Okay. So here, opening paragraph, two things. Always ask about the person's health and state the purpose of your writing. Okay. And the purpose is depending on the question. So as you can see here, I'm writing to invite you to where? Okay, to a surprise party, and I would like to ask you to help me out with the party. Right? Okay. And next, closing paragraph. Okay. You may close or you may end your letter with, well, that's all for now. I hope to hear from you soon. Send my regards to your family. Bye. Or, I must go now. I hope you will accept my invitation, referring to the question. Say hello to your family. Bye. Okay? Right. Okay. Contents. Okay? So this is the next step to finding the content points. As you can see, I've already written there C1, C2, C3, C4, C5 up till C12. Okay, so a question that need to be asked is, how many content points are given clearly? Okay, and how many content points that you need to give by your own? Okay, so you have to count. I'll do it for you. Okay, so points given are 7. There are 7 points given. Content 1, content 6, content 7, content 8, content 9, content 10, and content 11. Okay. How many students own points? Okay, there are 5. Content 2, where you have to give your own reason, another reason, where you have to give another reason for having the party. Content 3, where you have to give the exact date. Okay. Content 4, time. Content 5, venue. And then content 12, where you have to give another reminder for the guests besides wearing a mask. Okay? Okay. Remember, include content points of your own only if you are asked to. Okay? Only if you ask to. Okay. Next. Once you have identified the content points, Next, what should you do is you need to arrange the content points into several paragraphs. Sometimes there are some students, not all, some students, okay, uh, they love to write everything in one paragraph. Okay, they love to write everything in one paragraph. Okay, that is not that should not be done. Okay, uh, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, you shouldn't be doing that, right? Because it shows lack of planning. Okay, lack of planning. All right. So here you need to decide which points should be written in the second paragraph and so on. Okay. All right. Do you still remember when I read the question? I mentioned the word heading. First heading, second heading. Okay, so let's take the example details of the party. Details of the party. Okay, so you have the phrases details of the party. So when you want to start writing that content, you may start by saying, here are the details of the party. Okay, this indicates that your next sentence will be on date, time, and venue. So um, perhaps, this uh, this will show that you have organized your idea well. Okay, so here again, this is just my suggestion. Content 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in paragraph 2. Content 6, 7, 8, 9 in paragraph 2. In paragraph 3. Content 10, 11, 12 in paragraph 4. 2, 3,
Okay,
4.
Madam
Yes.
Zahran.
Okay.
Madam Zahran, since
Yes.
we are talking about paragraph,
Mm-hmm.
there's a question from Ni Akif Rizwan. He's asking, how long is the length of a paragraph and the number of pages to score a perfect mark in directed writing?
Wow. Perfect mark. Perfect mark is depending on your language, my dear. If you want to get a perfect mark, it's actually depending on your language. Okay, but here, as you can see so far, at the moment, my focus is on content. Okay, my focus is on content because for today, I would like to help students on how to score full marks for format and full marks for content. And if you want to get perfect mark for your directed writing, of course you have to work hard for your language. All right. Uh, uh, Time suggested here is 45 minutes. Time suggested here is 45 minutes. So I think maximum you did ask about the number of pages. I think 2 pages is maximum 2 pages, okay? Or 2 1/4. All right?
Okay, all right, next question comes from Anak Solus again. So he's asking, is it better to use acronyms or full words? I think abbreviations, okay, or full words in essays. For example, I'm, okay, instead of I am. Okay,
Because this is an informal letter, okay? So you are allowed to do so.
okay. So in other words, depending on the audience and the formality.
Yes,
Okay, our next question is from Nur Syuhada. Teacher, dekat salutation tu boleh tak letak Dear Beloved Aisyah?
of course, you may. Boleh. Because
Okay.
your audience is your classmate. Okay? Yes.
Okay, so far those are the questions.
Okay? All right. So again, I love to share a template. Okay, I love to share template because I think by having this answer template will help my students. Okay, to to manage their writing. Okay, all right. So this is how your informal letter template will look like. Right? First row address. Uh, you can also add date if you want. Okay, and if it's mentioned in the question to write a date, then it is a must for you to write the date. And then salutation, followed by opening paragraph or opening remarks, and then the contents, and finally the closing paragraph and signature. Okay, all right. Next. Uh, okay. How to elaborate the points given? Um, yes, you need to elaborate each point. Okay. Of course, you need number one, you need to use all the points for you to score full mark for your contents, and you also need to elaborate each point. Okay, but do not provide too many elaborations. Okay, normally one or two elaborations can be written. But again, it depends on your uh, proficiency level. Okay, all right. You okay uh, when you want to elaborate points given, you are encouraged to use WH questions. Okay, such as who, what, when, why, and how. So here, uh, our first content explain the reasons why do you want to have the party to cheer him or her up. Okay, so the reason I want to have the party is to cheer her up. All right, so uh, what is another reason for you to have the party? So brainstorm kan. All right, so to introduce your new classmate, to make your new classmate feel welcome, or if you want to help him or her, in our example, Aisha, so you want to help Aisha to get along with others well, right? So the sentence, another reason I want to have the party is to introduce her to our friends. And if you want to add, if you want to elaborate on that content too, you can also add, I hope she will get along with others well. Okay, and next, content 3. Okay, questions that can be asked based on content 3. What is the date? And why did you choose the date? If you want to elaborate. And when we talk about the date need to be mentioned clearly. The date of the party is 18 December 2020. Then only you will get marks for that. Let's say if you write, the party will be held tomorrow. So what is the date? No date stated, no date mentioned. So you're not going to get marks for that. Marks for content. Okay? All right. Next, content 4, time. What time is the party? Okay? And why did you choose to have the party in the morning or at night? Okay? So the party is at 9 a.m. and I chose to have the party in the morning because some parents might not allow their children to go out at night. And again, as the question asks you to give the time. Okay, if you answered the party is in the morning, no time is mentioned, so you're not going to get marks for content 4. Right? Okay, content 5, venue. First of all, you need to understand what is the meaning of venue. Then only you can answer this question. Okay? So where? Okay? Where will the party be held, or where will you have the party? And why did you choose to have the party there? Right? I chose to have the party at my house because you give your own reason in order for you to develop the points. Okay, sometimes there are some good students. Okay, they want to write it like this. We will have the party at my house because you want to continue. You want to have the content points and the elaboration in one sentence. Okay, so my advice is it's up to you. If you are good in your language, yes, you may do so. But for some students, uh, if you think you are you are still struggling, okay, you are still struggling to use compound and complex sentences, then it's okay to use simple sentence. Okay, all right. Next, content 6. Okay, color theme. So here is the suggested arrangement. So here is where you are going to ask your friends to think about this together. Okay, let's discuss about the arrangement of the party. So what is the color theme of the party? And why did you choose the color? Okay, the color theme of the party is yellow. I choose the color because it's my favorite color. Yeah, for example. And then C7, food and beverages. What will be served? Who will prepare? And here I give you some example of beverages, fruit juices, carbonated drinks, and examples of food, cakes, ice creams, chicken, rice, spaghetti. Okay? You may, of course, give your own example. And then entertainment, hiburan. Okay, what kind of entertainment that you want to have during the party? So here are some suggestions: movies, clown, magician, musical band. So all these 4 items, they are nouns. Okay, kata nama. So you need to have verb.
Okay, Madam
Yes,
Zahran. Madam
yes,
Zahran, can
yes,
you hear me?
yes. I can hear you, Miss Anne.
Okay, we have several questions from students. It seems that they are concerned about a paragraph. So one student is asking, so I'll just show all the questions. Harut Hakimi, one paragraph should be how many lines? Okay, another question also related to paragraph. Teacher, how many contents can I put in one paragraph? So the teacher is asking about how long
Sorry,
should a paragraph be? Can you hear me,
was not clear just
Madam
now.
Zahran?
Again.
Okay, let me repeat the questions. Okay, question number one: the students are concerned about paragraph. Okay, so
Okay.
paragraph one. Okay, so one student is asking, teacher, one paragraph should be how many lines?
One paragraph should be how many lines? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Um, let's say if you decide to have 5 or 6 lines in one paragraph. Okay, 5 or 6 lines, for example. Okay, in paragraph 2. So you need to have um, somehow uh, the same in lines in paragraph 3 as well as in paragraph 4. Okay.
So in other words, almost equal length, so to speak.
Ye- Yeah, yeah.
Okay, all right. Next questions come from Lailatul Aida. She's asking, how many contents can I put in one paragraph?
Okay. You are given 12 or 13 contents. Am I right? 12 or 13 contents. So I'm not saying that you need to um, divide. I mean, you need to put all the contents equally. Okay. But you are given 12. Okay. So four contents for each paragraph, but it depends. Okay, it depends. Like in our question, we have headings. Okay, we have headings. All right. So in our question, we have headings. Okay. So we have five headings here. Okay, five headings here. So uh, it depends on how you want to manage your content points. Right. So here let's say if I want to write on surprise element, okay, on the heading of surprise element, there's only one content there. So I don't think I'm going to write one paragraph for one content. So I'm going to combine content 10 with content 11 and content 12. So it depends on you, on how you want to manage your paragraph. Okay? As long as you can have, well, somehow an equal length of the paragraph.
Okay, so it is up to the students how they can manage the content points as long as they get all the content points written.
Yes.
Okay, all right. A few more questions here regarding length and paragraphing as well. Okay, let's see whether you can answer this question. Teacher, I have a problem to control the length of my essay. How can I reduce the words?
Yeah. Sometimes there are some students who are too ambitious. Why I am saying too ambitious? Because this is directed writing, guided writing, kan? Points are given. So they tend to sometimes there are some students tend to write one paragraph for one content. Okay, so of course you'll be using more than 45 minutes for that, and of course you can control your length. uh, you will end up to have 3 to 4 pages just for directed writing. Okay. But the marks allocated for this section is only 35 marks, right? You should be focusing more on your section B, CW, where the marks allocated for that section is 50 marks. So how to control your length? Well, my advice to you is when you want to elaborate the point, try to try to use maximum of 2 or 3 sentences. Okay, try to ask a maximum of 2 or 3 questions. Then only, inshallah, it will help you to control the length, and you will not be, how to say, overuse your time.
Okay, all right. Just a friendly reminder, we have 5 minutes more. All right. I will put forth one more question here from Zawin Nazira. She's asking, teacher, what is the advisable number of idiom we can put in our essay?
Um, I don't have the number, but if you decide to use idioms, okay, in your essay, please make sure that all the idioms are used appropriately. Okay? Make sure you really understand the idioms and make sure you know how to use the idioms. Then only you are allowed to use idioms. Right? Okay.
That's right. It's more important the accuracy of using the idioms rather than the number of idioms that you use.
Yes.
Okay, Madam Zahran, you have 5 minutes left.
5 minutes left. Okay. So
Yes.
okay, I stopped at entertainment just now. I said noun, so you need to have verb. So the verb is watch and hire. And for fun games, online games, musical chairs, balloon volleyball. So the verb is we will organize online games, or you can also use the verb play. Okay, make sure, as I said earlier, you need to have a correct sentence. Okay, an accurate sentence. If you are not good in compound or complex sentence, you may use simple sentence only. Okay? All right. Next, the surprise element, reminder for the guest. Okay? And then as you can see under surprise element, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 5 questions there in order to avoid you from writing a very long answer, okay, ataupun or a very long elaboration. Try not to ask all these questions, okay? Just ask yourself, what's the gift? Who will buy the gift? Or what's the gift? Uh, why do you want to buy that gift for your new classmate? Just ask 1, 2, or 3 maximum. Okay, the most. All right. And finally, oh, okay, that's the end of um of DW. Okay, that's the end of DW. All right. The most important thing is please manage your time wisely. Okay? So, all right, 5 minutes, yeah. Moving on to the last part of today's session, continuous writing. So, this is the second section of paper one. You'll be given 5 questions. You only have to choose one question. Okay? All right. So, this is the analysis. Uh, Short. Just focus on the parts that I have highlighted in yellow. Okay, they are all questions on narrative essay. Okay, and what is narrative essay? Sometimes when we ask our students, okay, today I want you to write a narrative essay, they don't understand. Okay, but if you ask them to write a story, then only they understand. Okay, all right. So as we can see in the analysis, we have expository, narrative, argumentative, and descriptive. Okay, as well as open essay. But for today, my focus is only on narrative writing or writing a story. And why do I choose to share some tips on this type of essay? Because of my students, okay, because of my students. Some students, they feel comfortable to write the story in past tense, okay. They do not want to get confused on the tenses, all right. And it is easier I think, okay, I believe, sorry, easier I believe, compared to factual or argumentative essay. And the most important thing is some helps are given in the question. Okay, some helps are given in the question. All right. So let's look at SPM 2018 question. Okay. Uh, write a story about a teenager who had an unusual hobby. Explain what was an unusual hobby, unusual about the hobby, and how the teenager's friends became interested in it. Begin your story with, even though it was a strange hobby, everyone came to love it. So here, uh, what are the information given? Okay, ask yourself, is there any character mentioned? Yes. Uh, is there any setting? No. Issue or problem? The one that I have highlighted in red. Okay, the issue is a teenager who had an unusual hobby. Meaning to say, the teenager had an unusual hobby, and people around him couldn't accept it. So that's the issue. So is there any resolution given in the question? Yes, teenager's friend became interested in it finally in the end. So these are all the information given in the question, and this is one of the reasons why I prefer my student to choose this type of question. Okay, so by identifying all the information in the question, so now you already have you already have the focus of your story. Okay, so once you already have the focus of your story, next, how you are going to arrange the information given. Okay, how you are going to arrange the information given. So you are going to need a plot. Okay, you are going to need a plot. Okay, um so remember, you are given a character, the issue, the resolution, and a sentence to start with. A sentence to start with. Okay, so a teenager, where can you put the teenager? Okay, a teenager, the information on teenager can be put here. Okay, why? Because exposition is the part where you are supposed to expose the character or characters, or if you have setting, or if you want to include your own setting in this part. Okay. When I said setting, a setting here is referring to the place or time. All right. And then second information, a teenager who had an unusual hobby. Okay, a teenager who had an unusual hobby. Okay, so that's the problem. Oh, sorry. Okay, teenagers' friends were not interested. Oh, sorry. Okay, number one, the teenager. Okay, a teenager. And then remember a sentence. You are given a sentence to start with. So from the sentence, actually, okay, this part where it said everyone came to love it. Okay, the part when it said everyone came to love it. So from this sentence, you know that at first, everyone did not show any interest on her hobby. Why? Because it is unusual, it's weird. Okay, so that's the problem. That's the climax of our plot. So the climax is teenagers' friends were not interested. Okay, and then the information on a teenager who had an unusual hobby, that is the rising action, where you are going to introduce the unusual hobby. Remember, rising action is the part where you are going to give an event, okay, an event that lead to the issue, okay, an event that lead to the issue or to the problem or to the climax, right? And the fourth information, teenagers' friends became interested in it, so that's the resolution. So that's how you arrange all the information given based on the question, right? So by doing this, you already have the flow of your story. You can see how your story move from one part to another part, from exposition to rising, rising to climax. Okay, how about the falling action? Okay, falling action. Um, items for falling action is not mentioned in the question. So what can you do? Okay, falling action is where the character is going to find ways. Okay, find ways to solve the problem. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is how your essay template will look like. Okay, so paragraph 1, the exposition, where you are going to introduce the character, the teenager. Paragraph 2, where you are going to describe the unusual hobby. Paragraph 3, the issue, the problem, where her classmates were not interested in her unusual hobby. And paragraph 4, she tried to make them feel, okay, interested in her hobby, or uh, perhaps she did something and it had helped her friends to accept her unusual hobby. Okay, and finally, paragraph 5, all her classmates became interested in her hobby. So here are some questions that can be asked in order for you to develop your paragraph. Okay,
Okay, Madam Zahran. Okay, would you like, time is already past
yes,
10:30. Would you like to
it's
say a
already
few last words?
it's already 10:36.
Yes. Would you like to say a few last words?
Okay, all right. So uh, um, like what I mentioned in my second part of today's session, DW is on time suggested for DW is only 45 minutes. Time suggested for continuous writing is 1 hour. So more time, more focus should be given here actually. Okay? All right. So I think that concludes my presentation for today. So I hand over to you, Miss Anne. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Zahran. That was a very enlightening session. Madam Zahran has pointed out a lot of things and she has covered most of the things that she wanted to do. So let me just sum up what she has done so far. Okay. All right. So Madam Zahran has covered um, the novel response, where she said that one of the things that she normally would use for writing novel response is to use STORE, the technique STORE. And for DW, she stresses on facts and try to get as many content points as possible for this one, because this one will be the main thing that will help you in passing the question. Okay, right. On behalf of PPD Pekan, we would like to extend our greatest appreciation to Madam Zahran for spending about 2 hours sharing her views and information on 1119 papers, both papers 1 and paper 2. All right. So for you teachers who are out there, so kindly scan the QR code which is currently on the screen, so that you can put this in your SPL KPM. Okay, I will give you a few seconds to scan. Okay, as for the teachers as well as students, kindly scan this particular QR code for your attendance, as well as we would like to get some feedback on the session today. All right, so we have come to the end of our session. Do stay tuned. Same place, same time tomorrow morning for biology. This will be shared by Cikgu Zulkarnain bin Jamaluddin from SMK Tengku Abdullah. So please tune in to get a lot of info from him. So we look forward to hearing from all of you tomorrow morning. All right. Thank you very much for your support, ladies and gentlemen. So we have come to the end of our session. Thank you once again, and we will see you tomorrow.